This bro just came all the way up the hill in his wheelchair to ask me where I'm from. I'm Katherine, an American living in China with my husband Asa John, and one of my favorite things to do is explore random middle of nowhere places. And with that comes the honor of being the first American and sometimes even the first foreigner seen by countless people. All of the children have dropped what they were doing and have run over. In today's vlog, we'll be traveling through the craggy landscapes of Gansu Province. We'll chat with lots of friendly and curious locals, explore some unique local architecture, and even visit a few off-the-beaten-path hangout spots. Coffee shop in a cave! If you're curious about what China is like outside of the major tourist spots and megacities, you've come to the right place. Good morning, everyone, from Huining. Bid goodbye to city life for a few days. We are going back in the middle of nowhere. Retired life, playing ping pong in the morning sunshine, surrounded by flowers, passing through the communal photo shoot zone. Huining is such a tiny city that it's not even on the tier system, and we very quickly reached the rural outskirts. Look at this bumper sticker. This is a whole essay. Like, you have to stop and read it line by line. Don't forget those who have helped you. Don't abandon those who accompany you. Don't hurt those who love you. No matter how poor you are, you must have self-respect. No matter how rich you are, you must not look down on others. Don't hurt people, don't lie to people, don't mistreat people. Once love is gone, it's hard to find it again. Guys, the bumper stickers here are so hardcore. And right next to the bumper sticker, clearly placed by someone who's been through some things, was a beautiful temple.
那是人家的民俗东西嘛，叫万民伞嘛，保佑平安的嘛。
One of my favorite things to do while biking through China is admire all the cool local architecture. And here we don't just have the usual temples and shrines and opera houses. There are also century-old dirt fortresses, mosques, caves. There is an endless array of cool architecture, and I can't wait to show you guys even more in this video.
That's so wild. 后来记得我们小时候把它断下来，然后搞个那个帽子，然后用那个来做那个屁屁那种。
Looks like someone's about to plant some potatoes. Look at all these terraces. They have managed to turn this very, very 3D landscape into a lot of arable land. We were sitting here enjoying the view out over the village when we noticed a familiar figure inching his way up the hill towards us. 辛苦了，爬这么高啊？
不累，你们不哪里来？
美国。This bro just came all the way up the hill in his wheelchair to ask me where I'm from. 看你们的村，这是你们的村，美吧？我们在这里可以呼吸。
Good morning.
Good morning, dişini bilgen dostlar.
牛逼牛逼！
来走走吧，
歌艺这么好啊！
来走走吧。
你学了那么多呀，
哎，
牛逼！
拉不到哟。
I love you. I love you too, bro. Goodbye, goodbye.
He was like, we'll never see each other again. I'm like, you can see us. We're posting videos all the time. But he didn't bring his phone. So we left our WeChat numbers with him, written on a napkin, because nobody carries paper anymore. Nobody writes things. I'm surprised Ace-don even had a pen. So hopefully we can stay in touch with our bro from this far-flung random village. Now we're continuing to our destination. As I mentioned earlier, this place has a lot of old dirt fortresses, and we actually made our very first sighting right here in this village. But the one I'm really here to see is a little bit further ahead. And we went on a day-long detour just to reach this thing. Check it out, y'all. Right on the side of the road, here is another one. Holy cow, there are so many of these things around here. We have arrived at tonight's destination, possibly the tiniest town we've stayed at this whole time. This place is so tiny they don't even put a fence to block the chickens from going on the road, because hardly anybody is on the road. 来了就是这里。我们还没住过这么小的啊。This hotel is just like a village house renovated. This is what 80 yuan gets you in this random town in the middle of nowhere. Time for dinner. Dinner is literally underway in the kitchen, and this boy could not wait one more second. He has to have his snacks.
不吃。
And now for the evening ritual of hunting for interesting snacks. Look at this. Teeny tiny instant noodles. This is like 2 bites. Whole chicken drumstick. Spicy pig skin. Candy toothpaste. Pineapple flavored. Lotus root juice. I actually love lotus roots, but I don't know about this, guys. This is a bit hardcore even for me.
我们家的话就懂吧？
还行吧，方言有点难。
亲戚啊？
没有亲戚。我们来看那个王山布子。
王山布子，哎呀，
对对
王山布子一场看头。
它有多少年的历史呀？
100年有了吧？
哇，100年，它是用土做的吧？
土做的。
土做的能坚持100年？
国民党时期你知道不知道？
嗯。
哦。 那个时候因为土匪很多，土墙垒的高高的，土匪来抢来了以后啊，开始把粮食啊、吃的东西啊都存在里面。
We'll check out the fortress known as a buzi in the local dialect tomorrow morning. For now, a little bit more wandering in random stores. So the front half of this store is selling fruits and vegetables, and the back half is the owner's kitchen. They're cooking something right now, and we're just poking around in the front looking for bananas.
这个怎么卖的
？10块钱
？1公斤。
1斤啊，1公斤啊，8块。
吃不起。
走吧，走吧。Everywhere we go, he complains the melons are expensive, and it's like you're never going to be able to compare to a place that grows melons. Okay, they're always going to feel expensive to you. You just gotta move on and get over it, you know. There is a hair salon. Wow, 这是个大超市啊。This is the biggest store in the whole place. Look at this place. In this teeny town. It's actually not even really a town. It's a township, which is not a word we use commonly in English. It basically means a giant village. Look at the selection in here. They even have a whole clothes section. You can get all your clothes, toys, stools, shoes. This is basically the Walmart of this town. There is a little bit of everything. Scoopable grains, lots of tea leaves. They really love their tea around here. Look at all the snacks. Whoa. Very nice cold appetizer selection. Not even gonna bother asking about the price of the melons, but they have them here too. There really is a solid selection here. I mean, just for wall hooks alone, you've got like a dozen different options and aesthetics you can go for. Ah, this one's shaped like an ant. That's kind of cute. Look, there's a whole nother row of them. Just wall hooks alone, they have this many different aesthetics available. They have a section for these kind of handmade, like small scale produced dessert items. And then they've got the industrially manufactured ones over here. Lots of snacks. So many snacks. Small town classic. There's gotta be a Peppa Pig knockoff somewhere in here. And right next to it, there's something even better. A light up dancing chicken. Now this is the real star of the show. All right, that's all, everyone. We are satisfied with our evening stroll. Good night. Before we head off this morning, we are taking a little tiny detour to check out the fortress. Of course, there are kids playing with guns.
美国不是可以有吗？是可以自己买枪的，他们家有。
哎，你们这个墙有小子弹吗？
塑料这个。1、2、3。
小朋友有手机啊。
他苹果手机那个。
苹果几啊？
刚出来的4S 吗？4S 对吧？还是4S？
好玩呀！
这手机已经被淘汰了呀，看现在16都出来了。
别瞧不起，你那时候没有手机，你那时候有啥呀？
开玩笑。
The Gun children are interested in joining us on our little trip to the fortress. So even though they can't tell us any stories about it while it was in use because they weren't even born yet, they probably weren't even an egg yet, it'll still be fun to have local tour guides to come with us. 它现在应该用不了了，就是100-200年前的那种很老的墙。然后还有一个小墙，小的那个可以用，大的那个用不了。He's telling the kids about my family's guns, and they were asking, have you seen them in person? And unbelievably enough, he hasn't, because the US won't give him a visa. Everyone is always so shocked to hear that. Like, yeah, that's actually a thing. You can marry someone from a country and that country can still be like, nah, sorry, you're not invited. There it is. That is pretty sick, actually. We have arrived at the foot of the fortress and there are a bunch of children swarming around. There's some corn being processed, if you're wondering what that noise is. This is the envy of city kids for sure. Look at this thing. What a perfect place to play with guns. Isn't it crazy how intact this thing is? It's 100 years old, made out of dirt, and it's still standing strong. This is the dream hangout spot of gun-toting children. I have not yet seen a better one. They're usually just running around in like ditches and stuff. I mean, what better place to play with your little toy guns than this thing? It's so crazy how much interesting architecture in China exists for the sole purpose of keeping bandits away. This is like the 15th time we've seen some cool ancient thing, and then the locals are like, it was to keep bandits away. Here's one, and across the road is another one. There are tons of these things around here. Asa John is sad that he couldn't go to the US and hold a real gun. So this is the closest he's gonna get. The children are joining us for lunch and they gave us these gigantic latiaos. It's like a long version of that thing that we had as a snack last night. Look how long this is. Okay, now I see why this is so popular. And finally, it was time to say goodbye and continue our journey. Hello, 小朋友们.
Hello. How are you? I love you too.
And mixed in among the dirt fortresses are mosques. Do y'all see that thing in the distance? I'm so excited to go check that out. As you probably know, I'm a huge fan of ancient and unique architecture, and this is a style of architecture that is unique to some Muslim ethnic groups in this part of the country. I love architecture, so yes, we are going all the way in this ravine just to look at the thing, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. It's actually a type of minaret that is unique to this particular region, which is why we didn't see them in Ningxia, which also has a lot of mosques. I love its detailed, ornate design and the way it pulls your eye in from afar, becoming the focal point of the entire village. Asa John has made a friend. 你们这个塔有多少年的历史呀？10几年吧，10年过去。Grandpa says it's okay to come inside and check it out. So we're going in. Here is the main building. And here is the tower. 好香呀。This is the prayer room. This was the first of about a half dozen different mosques that we passed on this day. Some more ornate than others, but all very interesting to pass by. And we also encountered another gigantic fortress. And you can't even really get a sense of the scale of it unless you're looking at it from the sky. When you live in a remote place like this without access to like a big mall or something, A lot of things are for sale on the back of a truck. Let me show you guys this one. 你好. This guy's selling cupboards. Little glimpse of small town life. 美国
你们的叫福宝，
还可以，越来越穷了，反正。
美国有穷人没有？
有啊，
美国回民还多，对啥？
回民有穆斯林。
穆斯林就是回民啊，中国没说穆斯林。
有。
特朗普是回民要下去吧？穆斯林要下去。特朗普。
什么？
特朗普，因为特朗普知道吗？特朗普。
特朗普吗？
哦，回民要下去，就是那个。
啊？ Ace John is showing off our folding bike.
而且它可以这样。
特朗普的家族，特朗普的家族版。
对对对。
也这世界。对，可以带货车。哦。不用呀，我要比的。
We have located the village hangout spot.
是哪里啊？
美国。
真的？
真的。
是你们这的第一次来美国人？
这第一个。
Hello, how are you? How are you doing?
听不懂。
All of the children have dropped what they were doing and have run over to see the American.
我去，好豪华呀！
拜拜，小朋友们，慢慢玩。拜拜，拜拜。Our journey continues. We're here at the prayer hour. There's some people gathering outside. Off we go, everyone. Back on the road. I see perfectly manicured medians with hedges. So it seems we are entering the boundaries of the city of Huining now. Hello, 小朋友们. I am filming them, filming me. Welcome to Huining. Now it's time for dinner. We are at another one of those restaurants where you stand at the counter and give them your receipt and then they bring you the thing. So when we first came in, we were like, can we see a menu? And they were like, there is no menu. It's just soup noodles, that's it. And there are a couple of extra little bonus thingies you can get over there, but they have no menu, which is so unfathomable to us living in Hangzhou. And most provinces we've been to, that's like not a thing. A restaurant with no menu. Here's the big vat of soup. And they're making the noodles themselves right there. This is Ace John's. He likes it spicy. And mine is no spicy. Look how much outdoor seating there is at this restaurant. It's so wholesome. We picked this one because it had a really big crowd. So we're like, okay, the noodles must be bomb here. And I know there are online platforms where you can look at reviews and stuff, but there are so many fake and paid reviews these days. The hotel we stayed at a couple days ago that we felt was not very clean, honestly. It was kind of a mediocre experience. Called us and was like, give us a good review and we'll send you 5 yuan. And we didn't take them up on it, okay? But I'm sure a lot of people do. So when you have stuff like that happening, it's hard to trust reviews. So we just go down the street and look for a restaurant that's poppin', and this one was. Y'all know we love some hand-pulled noodles. Here's my noodles with meatball, and we've got this cucumber here. This is the complimentary red date tea. It's pretty good. Look at this blasphemy over here. It's done put the cucumbers in the soup like a heathen. Ace John has something to show you all in the hotel hallway.
Look at this bot. Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
He's scandalized. He's like, I saw part of a butt. In typical China fashion, we started our morning with the sound of firecrackers, and then we got on the road to head to the city of Dingxi. We are at the very top of this mountain ridge, and there's actually a little village up here with a convenience store. 有人吗？矿泉水多少钱？1块钱。没想到这个山上还有个小店呀。This is the local playground, in the middle of the road.
Hello.
你好。怎么每一个村儿都有个玩墙的小朋友？拜拜。The kids are coming back for seconds. They didn't get enough staring at the foreigner, so they're back.
我操！那肯定非常严。
过1个月在抖音上可以刷到自己了。
前面非常漂亮，有头发，还有杏花了。
好呀，好呀，期待。
美国的人根本没来过，我是第一次见美国的。
这个地方有点难找。我们今天爬了1天的坡才到你们村儿。你们喜欢住在这个村里吗？风景好呀。我们也住在村里，在杭州的农村。
哇，杭州的。
都是竹子、竹林。你们见过竹子吗？
见过，熊猫上见过。
对对，就是熊猫吃的那个。我们家全是1片。
哇！
你们见过这么绿的地方吗？
没有。
我们家就是全是竹子。
美不美？
美。
欢迎你们来玩。
拜拜，拜拜。Next stop, a coffee shop in a cave. We're here, everyone. We're at the cave coffee shop. I know you're probably sick of caves because I'm always putting them in the vlogs, but I just think they're so interesting. And there's a coffee shop in a cave. We've stayed in cave hotels, we've seen cave museums, we've seen actual cave homes that people live in, but we have yet to try coffee in a cave. There's also this creature here you can pet. Fascinating place. How cute is this? It's a coffee shop in a cave. And it's actually in a cave. It's not like they're just making the cave aesthetic for kicks. Like it's actually in a cave, in the ground. Wow, 这么长呀，看这里还有。这个这么可爱。你们这个咖啡店开了多久了呀
？1年多吧。
生意不错，热闹。你们有抹茶吗？
抹茶现在今天卖完了。
我们来晚了。So I tried to order some matcha, and they're sold out today. The cave is too popular, guys. We got here too late. It took so long to get here, okay? I thought it was just a straight road. And we had to go along this mountain ridge. This is clearly a beloved hangout spot of the locals in Dingxi. So much so that the cave coffee shop is sold out of everything we wanted to order. But it's fine. We're enjoying our time here anyway. So even though most job opportunities are in the city nowadays, and the majority of China's population is urban, or at least living in like a large town, a lot of people still enjoy the rural aesthetic, you know? This place has such cool scenery, such interesting creatures. I mean, what's not to love, right? Coffee shop in a cave. It's so cute. I love it. And now we are heading to the city of Dingxi. There's a cigarette and alcohol store out here in this random place. And they have the best corn ad we've seen in a while. Check that out. That's where we're going. The city of Dingxi. Asa John is making a friend. This guy likes our bikes. He's trying to find this bike on Taobao to get one. 你要买一个折叠自行车吗？
这个厚啊。
我还以为这个猫咪是假的，是真的。
Today we are finally going to reach the outskirts of Lanzhou, and we are at this little park right here. The grandpas are playing cards, the children are frolicking, there's the sound of karaoke in the background. We're gonna pick up some naan for the road. It's a bit off course, but it's worth it because it's some really good naan. Yes, The route from Dingxi to Lanzhou is located in a narrow valley without many alternate roads, so we spent almost the entire time on a main road, which we don't normally do because it's boring. We did see some cool scenery along the way, but it definitely wasn't comparable to all the backroads shenanigans that we have on most biking days. Well, the Maya. I was about to say there's actually a traffic light in this middle of nowhere place, and clearly they need one because people be having accidents out here. What the heck? And finally, Lanzhou appeared in the distance.
我还记得我小时候，我们村里大人小人都聚在一起玩这个，尤其是冬天的时候。
为什么冬天玩？
没事干呀，大家都在就是闲着，对吧？所以找点事干。
We have finally reached the outskirts of the outskirts of the outskirts of the outskirts of Lanzhou. Check out these monster spoons. They're so big. This is like a serving ladle. It's a little bit extra, but it does the job, you know? Look at this giant crowd gathered here to watch the live demonstration of an ear cleaning in ultra detail. The dancing drum up brigades are out and about. Lovely evening for a dance. The next day, it was finally time to reach the city center of Lanzhou, and before that, we decided to go on one last little detour through some random villages. And I'm very excited to show you guys this one last day of scenery before we reach the mega city. Started raining out of nowhere. But of all the places to be in the rain, this is probably the best one. There are plenty of spaces to hide away until the rain stops. Dawn is having a non-break.
Yeah. 新疆人，我来旅游的。
你们这个塔特别漂亮，我们从很远看到了，从大马路上看到，然后过来了。你好。
坐。
下雨了，我们在这坐一会儿。我们看了，很漂亮。All right, y'all, off we go. It is still raining, but it's raining much less than it was 20 minutes ago. Look at this cool thing. I cannot get enough of the architecture around here. It is just so cool. One last mosque, one last Buddhist temple, and now it's time to be back in the cityscape. And now that we have reached Lanzhou, we're actually going to be taking a break for a bit to edit videos and also to take a trip to the south part of Gansu as well as North Sichuan with my parents. You guys might remember that I've mentioned that my parents are not exactly avid world travelers, but their trip to China last year taught them that traveling to other countries is actually pretty fun, and now they're back to do it again. So the bike tour is going to be on pause for a few vlogs, and then we'll resume from Lanzhou to Huining. Thanks for joining us on today's journey, and make sure to subscribe to see more of China off the beaten path.